Good evening, everyone. Oh, happy Saturday to you. I'm totally chill in my robe. I hope that you came comfortable as well with your water and your handheld mirror. Let's get centered before we go in. Oh my goodness. There's so much that wants to come through. So much. So let's take some nice deep breaths. Smile. Come into the now moment. And let's connect. How are you today? Tune in to the gratitude for the day. Deep breath. Tune in with your body. How is your body feeling? How have you loved your body today? How have you loved the world around you today? Relax your shoulders. Let's set the intention to bless our water as we connect now and see what comes through as we connect with the spirit of water to remember our truth. That is wealth in all of the ways. Wealth in all of the ways. And I feel called to share with you today some experiences that I've had with my children recently. And the way in which I have been able to support our tribe, our unit, to shift our lives by being very diligent in setting frequency standards for myself and then allowing that to overflow into the lives of my children and the rest of my family and the collective. So when we think of, feel into the frequency of wealth, and we're talking more than money, right? Money's the byproduct. Wealth is a state of being. Wealth is an acknowledgement of that which is already within you. Wealth is a frequency standard. You get what you look for. You've probably heard of the reticular activating system. I've spoken about it. It is a part of your brain, a function of your brain, collective components of your brain that allow you to see what is within your frequency. The RAS filters out anything that is not in the frequency that you are currently experiencing. Why? Because if we were receiving all of the signals through all of our senses all of the time, we would not be able to function. We would be overwhelmed by all of the messages, the symbols, the words, all of the stuff, all of the sensory information coming in. And so the brain filters out based on frequency. And this is the saying, you get what you look for. You literally get what you look for. one of the most powerful practices for me, and you may identify with this, perhaps you're a parent, perhaps you are a mentor. We all have people looking up to us, whether we know it or not, right? We are all mentors, whether we know it or not. Someone is always watching, observing, looking to us for the guidance, whether it's conscious or subconscious. That's our role in this lifetime. You wouldn't be here if that wasn't in some way your role. And my path of least resistance to the next greatest version of me began with my children. Before I realized the power of overflow and really leaning into myself first and letting that wealth overflow to my children were my catalyst. I began this expansion journey because I wanted my children to have a better life. They were the reason, they were the catalyst. And now that I have found this space and the value within myself and being the first to go, right? What's the saying? Put your oxygen mask on first. Are you doing that? Are you holding the frequency standard for yourself and those around you? Are you discerning about your scroll, right, in this space, about the company that you keep, about the job that you keep, about the things that you put in your body? These are all frequency standards. They either support the expansion or lead to constriction. And we access wealth in all the ways by holding the highest frequency standards and refusing to deviate. Doesn't mean we're perfect? No, absolutely not. But it means that when we diverge off of the path, we are very quick to recognize, observe, and get back on the path. Today, I want to share a story about something that I observed with James, my son, who's 10. And it was a great opportunity for me to hold the frequency for him, with him, for myself, for my family, in his situation. And it's a very simple example, but isn't that what it's all about? Every simple experience in our lives gets to uphold that frequency standard. And then the big things in life don't feel so drastic, traumatic, dramatic. They're easier to navigate if we maintain that frequency standard. Deep breath. James had hockey tryouts today for the travel team. And it is a huge commitment, something that I felt into deeply before we said yes to it as a family. It feels very aligned for him at this time. And we went to tryouts today, and what I witnessed in him was a shrinking, a constriction, a holding back of his true self, which is this kid who loves hockey. It is part of his heart and soul. It's his favorite sport. He absolutely loves it, and he puts all of his heart into it when he's out there. And as I'm observing him on the ice, seeing a different kid for many reasons, he was nervous. They had him playing a position that he wasn't used to, that wasn't his typical position. I think he was a little tired. And it was, I've told you that when I'm speaking to you, I want my authentic truth to come through my heart, but sometimes my nerves get in the way. And I was witnessing this in James. And then I also had the opportunity, the blessing, to witness his father was so upset. Not angry. He was frustrated. He was really irritated. Not with James necessarily, but with the situation and with his inability, his supposed inability to support his son who was on the ice as he was watching him. And I was just witnessing him in his body, like he couldn't sit still. I could see it in his face that he was upset. He was holding his breath. And, you know, we're holding a different frequency, him and I, and that's okay. We are both where we are, and it's all perfect. So I knew that my words probably would not support him. That was not what he needed from me in that moment. James's dad. And so I just took some deep breaths. I breathed for both of my Jameses. I breathed for my family. And as I'm watching James really not giving his all, and I think too, he's being a little cocky, and I think he kind of felt like a shoo-in, but that's not how it works. But everyone knows him and knows he's good, but that's not how an audition, that's not how it works. And so I was feeling a little frustrated too. So I'm observing myself and okay, why am I feeling this way? I'm so good at like being neutral. Why is this coming up so big for me? And what is James reflecting to me? What is present in me that is creating this external experience? And so when James got off the ice, I gave him some tough love. And I think he was a little bit taken aback because, you know, I am the compassionate, loving, cuddly, let me smother you and kiss his mom. Super compassionate. And he's a very compassionate boy, so it's easy to be that way with him. But I reminded him that he gets to show up in his truth and go out there and just be his heart and soul on the ice and to advocate for himself and be clear with the coach that this is not my position. Such and such is my position. And I told him, I said, if you come to the next 2 rounds of tryouts and you give that type of performance, no matter what position you're playing, you will not make the team. And his eyes got really big. And I said, so, let's reset. Let's reset, reestablish the value, the acknowledgement of the value of what you're doing, and have fun. I said to him, I want you to show up as if it's your favorite sport. And he said, well, it is. I said, well, exactly. So show up in your truth. Do not shrink. Do not constrict. Come out and move your body. Don't stop moving. Don't stand around. Show them your passion. Let them see how deeply you desire to be on this team. Let them see what a valuable contribution you will be to this team, to this co-creation. And I was firm with him. But it felt good. And after he reflected on it, it felt good to him too. And I tell you what, he came back that next round of tryouts and he was like a different kid. It's like, it didn't feel great for me to be stern with him because it's, you know what I mean? But it's like my frequency, it wasn't even about the words. My frequency gave him permission to show up as the big self that James is. It wasn't about the words. It was about the presence and the passion and the caring. He knew I cared. And so my bigger point here is, or part of it anyway, it's not usually about the thing. It's about saying yes to the thing. It's not usually about the words, the specific words themselves. It's about being willing to show up to deliver the words. And a specific example is coming through that when I'm building my mission in this right here, right here, what we're doing right now, I'm building the living consciousness that is our mission to change the world. There's 5 people on here live. That's all I see. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if only 5 people are here live right now. It's about me saying yes to showing up in this way that ripples. That ripples beyond the beyond. We can't even comprehend the way in which this facilitation is rippling and creating change in ways in both of our lives that we don't even know. We can't even consciously comprehend. You saying just yes to being here has shifted everything. It's a frequency standard. You saying yes to taking the time to be present in this experience for yourself, for the spirit of water, for the collective, that's what makes the change. Take a deep breath. Feels good. So good. Okay, hang with me for just a second. I have someone who keeps messaging me about the live. It's on the page. Hold on just a second. Okay. Deep breath. Okay. I got kind of hot. The energy's moving. Do you feel it? Not even about that. We could just sit here and stare at each other and there would be a shift. It's not even about the words. So we get to stop trying to find the words, really. Okay. That's my cue to shut up. Okay. Let's get our glass of water and hold it with intention. Placing it over your heart, putting your hands over it. Relax your shoulders, open your chest. Do you have your mirror? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. And this may feel a little funny and uncomfortable. We're going to look at ourselves and not say anything. I'm going to take a drink of water first. Okay. Get your mirror and let's just be quiet. And look in your eyes. Deep breath. And send yourself love. Maybe it's a color. Maybe in your mind, say I love you over and over again. Relax your shoulders, open your chest, breathe. Look deep into your own eyes. Breathe. And who do you see? Who do you see as you look in your eyes? Do you see the reflection of your children, perhaps? Your mother or your father? Maybe a grandparent? Breathe. And recognizing that we came to shift the frequency for our lineage. And I want you to look at yourself and say this statement. I am the one I have been waiting for. I am the one I have been waiting for. Keep saying it. I am the one I have been waiting for. I am the one I have been waiting for. Be bold, be proud, be loud, hold the frequency, expand the frequency. I am the one I have been waiting for. I am claiming my power now. I choose self-empowerment. I am the one I have been waiting for. I am the one I have been waiting for. Oh my God! I'm the one! Nobody else! Nobody else! All of those ways in which we look outside of ourselves for all of the things. Have you noticed that it's never fulfilling? It's always a fleeting moment. It's you! You are the one you have been waiting for. Say it again. I am the one I have been waiting for. How does it feel? How does that feel when you look in your eyes and you give yourself the credit? I am the one I have been waiting for. No one else is coming to save you. It's all you. It's all you. Right? Does it feel good to say that? Do you have resistance to saying that? Do you feel victimhood mentality? Do you feel scarcity? What comes up for you? Witness it. Hold that feeling. We're not ignoring that anymore. And look in the mirror and tell yourself it's okay. If something comes up for you, Monica, I'm going to give you an example. It's okay that there's still a little piece of you that wants to be a victim. That's what came up for me. There are times where I'm sharing what's happening for me, where full transparency, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is big. But then I won't be the one, I may cry. But then I won't be the one in the family that needs help. I've been the one. I've been the single mom. I've been the one in the past that needed to reach out to grandma to cry, or needed to reach out to mom for financial support. or needed to run out of the house because things were traumatic and dramatic and I had to get the kids out of the house before things escalated and go to my mom's. These are addictions. They are addictions that we hold within our nervous system. It's a pattern of energy, right? It's a loop of energy that wants to keep repeating because that's the path of least resistance. It's the same path over and over and over again. When you start diverting from that and taking your power back, things may get loud for you, around you. But if you're willing to look yourself in the eyes and to hold the frequency standard choice by choice, right? It's a singular choice, sometimes a second by second decision. It gets easier to hold that frequency. It's like a muscle, right? It's like a muscle. Isn't mirror work interesting? You know, the eyes are the windows to the soul. What greater way to connect with your truth than by looking yourself in the eyes and leaning straight into the discomfort of what comes up for you? We fully witness it and it alchemizes. And all of this beautiful energy is being amplified. All of these intentions, all of this healing, it's all being amplified through our water. Deep breath. Okay, open your shoulders, drop your shoulders, open your chest. Take a drink of water. And drink very intentionally and cautiously. Consciously. Drink consciously. Feel the water hit your tongue, your teeth, your lips, your gums. Feel it run down the back of your throat. And feel gratitude for this beautiful water that we are receiving, that is nourishing our body, that is allowing us to tap into this beautiful, beautiful frequency of wealth in all the ways. And I have a suggestion for you. Isn't this fun? Like just being present with your water and yourself, your water and your reflection. So beautiful. What was my suggestion? Oh, this is my suggestion. So something that I have been doing, and I need to do it again more intentionally, is there was a period of a couple of weeks where every single time I would go to take a drink of water, I would speak into the water, I am a tidal wave of abundance. Okay, do it. Okay, trust me. Because I created 5 figures within that 2 weeks. Remember, it's a byproduct. Everything else was really cool too. It was this magical 2 weeks that, I mean, I'm still riding the wave, right? We are still riding the wave. But it is amazing what the frequency of water, how it will support you and expand your intentions. I took myself to lunch today after James's hockey tryouts, and I went, there's a local restaurant down the street, and I'm sitting there solo, you know, and I have my own resistance about going out solo. Usually there's a kid with me. But I leaned into it. I pulled in and there was all sorts of, you know, all kinds of people there. And I pulled in and I was like, oh, it feels funny to walk in alone. I don't go out a ton. And I was like, all right, if it feels funny, I'm going to lean into it and I'm going to do it. I'm going to put myself out there and I deserve this. And I'm excited to go eat a nice big salad and sit on the water. The weather's perfect today. So I walked in, you know, proud, the fullness of my expression. And I sat down and I'm just looking at this water and I'm like, wow, what a journey it has been. It is. What a journey it is. And as I'm looking in the water, you know, reflecting, as I'm looking at the reflection, I'm thinking of where I was, kind of living on the outskirts of the ghetto, you know, around 6 years ago. And I had set an intention a long time ago, like I want to be on the water. I had no idea how it was going to happen. I put the intention out there. Boy, I didn't have a lot of resistance, right? Like Abraham says, like, just speak it and let it go. And I did. Because I didn't really, you know, like, is it going to happen? How's it going to happen? I really was not at all attached to it, and I wasn't trying to figure it out. I just wanted to live a better life. And so I was, every decision, frequency. What is my frequency? Where am I at right now? What am I thinking of? Who am I associating with? What words am I speaking? How am I engaging with my children? What am I showing them, right? And then I ended up in a beautiful house, you know, maybe 10 miles, not even 10, maybe 5 miles north in a nice neighborhood across the street from a beautiful park with a splash pad, water. And I was grateful for that water. And I recognized there was something within me that had a knowing, this intuition around being across from the splash pad. It was right there. And the kids could go over and play in the water. And it was so convenient and so beautiful in the midst of these beautiful woods. And then I ended up feeling like I was taking a step back, but knowing that I really wasn't. To the 3D world, it did appear that way because I ended up moving into a significantly smaller apartment with the kids, and we were very cramped we had a, you know, 5-bedroom house. But what I kept hearing was, you're too heavy, you're too heavy, you're too heavy, too heavy, too heavy. It kept going through my mind. Too heavy. Like, you got to downsize. You've got too much baggage. And while I didn't bring much forward with me from that other home and from that past, I did have a lot of stuff. You know, I had like extra couches and extra TVs because I filled the house, which did not bring me joy. Wasn't the things, right? I wanted to be outside in the woods where there was no things. And so it felt really liberating, and I was able to just witness and recognize and say, okay, like, this is not about shrinking in that way. It's about really taking everything out of your backpack, right? Reducing how heavy you are. And it was very liberating to get rid of all that stuff. And I was living on a retention pond. You may have heard this story about the retention pond before. And I remember going and sitting by the retention pond, and I would connect with the water every day. And I was in gratitude that, you know, yes, I'm in an apartment, but wow, I've got a pond. Like, I have a body of water to sit by. And so I would go and connect with the pond every day and love the pond and just weave it. You know, it was a dirty little retention pond with all of this toxic runoff going into it and all the chemicals they put on the grass. And I would just weave light and weave healing over that pond. And I was kind of joking around one day, and I was like, you know, I said I wanted a body of water, but a retention pond? And I was just kind of like poo-pooing it. And the pond was like, excuse me? That is not okay. I am just as important as the ocean. And isn't that like everything, right? It's that expression, you are the drop within the ocean, but the ocean is contained within the drop. There's no separation. We as individuals can become overwhelmed by the change that we want to make in the world because we are one little person. But oh my gosh, it all starts with one person, right? It all starts with one little pond, one stream, one river, one waterfall, and then into the ocean. Nothing is insignificant. Your role is just as important as my role. There's no comparison. Comparison is not a part of the expanded vision, right? The expanded perspective. We're not supposed to compare each other. We're not supposed to compare journeys. The mother making a loving meal for her family is just as important as me, walking across the stage in Japan for all the work that I've done with the collective. What she's doing is no less significant than what I'm doing. It is all important. We all have our roles. And even when you look at the miscreants, that's like my new word. Patricia Cota Robles used it once, and I really love her. And I was like, man, that's a great way to describe them. Miscreants, instead of like calling them assholes or jerks, miscreants, because they're miscreating, right? Even they have a role to play. And that feels big. That can feel charged and heavy, can't it? But it's true. Like, we are collectively agreeing on this experience. And the more consistently and intentionally we hold that frequency standard, the more swiftly we get to experience our truth, which is all the wealth in all the ways, all the love, all the joy, all the fun, all the excitement, all the flowers, all the trees, all the vacations. All right, na zdrowie. That's cheers in Polish. Let's take a drink. I trust this is landing. It feels good. Okay. I'm hot. I'm really, really hot. Do you see how red my face is? The energy is very big. We're moving some stuff. Okay, let's place our water to the side. And close your eyes. Deep breath. Smile. Come fully present in your body. Feel your heartbeat. And let's call in the frequency of water to bless our body. What do you see the frequency of water as? I was sharing yesterday, I see the frequency of water as a little blue light, like a little blue fairy. And let's invite the frequency of water to trace over our feet and toes, cleansing and blessing our feet and toes. Sending love to our feet and toes. Deep breath. And now seeing the frequency of water tracing our heels and ankles, up our calves and shins. Relax your body. Up our knees. Our upper legs. Weaving light, healing, cleansing light around our legs, up around into our hips, our perineum, our womb and bowels, deep breath. Up into our chest, our lungs, all of our organs, weaving through our ribs. up into our neck, collarbone, shoulder blades, weaving all the way through our spine, shoulders down over our upper arms to the elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands and fingers. Weaving around our neck, the base of our skull, around the back of our head, to the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the sinuses, the cheeks, the jaw, through the mouth, down the throat, into the lungs, now into the heart, and weaving that beautiful frequency of water, of wealth, of abundance, of wealth in all the ways, pumping it through our entire body to the depths of our DNA. Deep breath. And now wrapping your heart light around your hands. Just seeing a beautiful green or pink, whatever color you see your heart energy to be. Wrap it around your hands, blessing your hands with love. And now I would love for you to focus on one way in your life in which you can raise your frequency standard. Maybe it's the way in which you engage with your children, the company you keep, how often you do your inner work, your meditations, how often you move your physical body, what you're eating. Pick one thing. What is that? And look in the mirror and make a commitment to yourself. I choose, Monica, I choose to hold a higher frequency standard, and fill in the blank, when I am, or with the crowd that I engage with. Feel into that for a moment. Repeat it a few times. And I'm feeling for myself that this for me has to do with eating more, growing my own more nourishing foods. And so, Monica, I choose to hold a higher frequency standard through the food that I grow to put in my body. I choose to be more proactive with my garden. That's huge, right? I choose to plant more plants. It gets to be that simple. Like, I want to eat real nourishing food that I can walk out back and pick. And I have gobs of tomato plants and zucchini, but I have those because my aunt gave them to me. So it was convenient. It's time to go buy some stuff on my own and plant it. Like, it gets to be that simple, right? I choose to hold a higher frequency standard with the food that I'm putting in my body. I mean, I've got the water covered, right? I want deeply nourishing foods. And we know that when we go to the supermarket, what we're getting is, it is depleted, right? Okay, let's take a drink. And then let's tap that in. Alchemize anything that might get in the way. You know what? There's something else too that's coming up for me, and maybe it's coming up for you. It has to do with my view of my body. I choose to hold a higher frequency standard in the way in which I witness my body. My internal dialogue isn't always the best. Okay, let's tap. Top of the head. I don't know why that felt so big to come through. Two very simple things, right? It must be present for many of us in some way. Something big was shifting. Remember, it's not about the words. It really was about my willingness to actually stop and witness and maybe give you some space to lean into what most resonated with you. Something big shifted in that moment of inquiry for all of us. Just the willingness to have that moment of inquiry shifts, moves mountains. Deep breath. And you can just tap, or you can state out loud your I choose statement, whatever feels most aligned for you. I like to use I choose statements because when it's a choice, you are unconsciously recognizing and on a deep level alchemizing anything that would actually get in the way of you saying I am. Just my kind of personal feeling around it. It feels powerful that way. And I've had great conversations with my friend Vicky about this. She kind of shared that method with me. She's like, when you say I am, subconscious beliefs can creep in and try. The world wants to show, your reflection into the external world wants to show you why you're not. But if you make it a choice, I choose. I'm choosing. Like right now, I'm choosing. I'm choosing to be a person who fully, deeply, completely loves her physical vessel. I choose to love my body fully and completely. Everything about it. Everything. Deep breath. Right here, inner eye. Deep breath. Now, as you say the statement, remember, we are what's coming up for you. Witness what's coming up for you. What resistance is coming up? Do you see how this can be such a unique experience, even though we're doing it collectively? We get to really paint the experience very individually. But the power of the alchemy is amplified because we're doing it together. Deep breath. If you feel called to glance in the mirror, do it. I choose to fully and completely love and honor my body. Deep breath. You may yawn, you may burp, you may cough, you may sneeze. It's all moving. I'm like burping right now. It's all movement. The energy is alchemizing. Deep breath. Whew. Something big is moving. I'm going to simplify this for myself and just say, I choose Love. Whole and complete love. Love in all the ways. I choose love in all the ways. Deep breath. Under the eye. I choose love. If you ever don't know what to tap on, just tap on love. Or just don't say anything at all. It still works. I choose love, Monica. Deep breath. Under the nose. If you feel the feelings in your body, an ache, a tingle, a cramp, deep breath into that space. Just set the intention to breathe into that space. I'm feeling some kind of resistance, some heat, some burning in my womb. Interesting. Deep breath. Just in witnessing it, it moves it. I'm feeling some resistance in my neck, between my shoulder blades. Deep breath. As we're on the chin. Now moving down to the collarbone. Both sides, one side, whatever feels best. Deep breath. I choose love. I choose love in all the ways. I choose wealth in all the ways. Now, if you feel called to pick up your water too, grab it. I'm going to go to the center of my chest too. Tap on your heart space. Deep breath. I choose love, 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 love. Doesn't it feel good to just even say the word? Love. I choose love in all of the ways. Deep breath. Now going down to the bottom of the ribs. Remember, find your nipple. Go down to that very bottom of your ribs, straight down from your nipple. Tap. Right there. Deep breath. I choose love. And now under your arm, so you can reach across. This is kind of awkward to do it like this, but since I have my water, it's how I'm going to do it. Tap right there, underneath your armpit, where a bra strap would, or not a strap, but where your bra would sit. I think many of us on here don't wear bras, or burn your bra. I say burn all the bras. F bras. It constricts your lymphatic drainage. I'm always like rooting for the babes who are out there without a bra on. Sometimes I do that. I need to get more bold and brave to do that. See? Loving my body completely. See what's coming up? Yep. Deep breath. All of these little ways in which we really dishonor ourselves. It is a dishonoring when we judge ourselves, our physical vessel. Right? Deep breath. Okay, let's stop for a moment. Smile. Take a drink of your water. Set it to the side. Okay. Deep breath. going to do one more round. We're going to do the hands toward the end. Let's go back to the top of the head. Place your hand on your heart. Speak your affirmation or just be quiet. Could even look in the mirror in silence and just look at yourself. That's what I'm going to do. Just going to look in my own eyes as I tap. Just taking the time to be present with yourself. It moves mountains. Deep breath. Inside of the eyebrow. Deep breath. Make some noise as you exhale if you want. Outside of the eye, deep breath. When is the last time you spent time with you? Without scrolling, without having background noise, without occupying your eyes with anything but you. What an honor it is to be present with yourself. Deep breath. Under the eye. Deep breath. Under the nose. Looking in your own eyes, what's coming up for you? Deep breath. Chin. Deep breath. Collarbone. Deep breath. And look for your magnificence. Do you see it? I do. Look at you showing up for yourself. It is magnificent. Deep breath. Tapping on the heart space. You are amazing. We are amazing. Bottom of the rib. Deep breath. Under the arm. Hand in the air if you're feeling it. Put your hands in the air if you're feeling it. Deep breath. Okay, now we're going to do the wrist right here. Deep breath. Looking in the mirror. Still looking in the mirror. Smiling, loving the F out of yourself because you're amazing. How does it feel? Does it feel funny? Oh my gosh, there was one day where I was like, kids, come in here. We're doing some mirror work. And I brought the kids in to like look at themselves and love themselves and witness themselves. And it was so fun and interesting to witness their discomfort. And we just leaned into it together. And so that's what we're doing here now. We're leaning into it together. I had someone on the podcast not long ago, breathwork facilitator, Calvin Livingston. And something he said is that a practice that really changed his life is he started to get up in the morning, and the first thing he would do is go look in the mirror and tell himself, I love you. He would say, I love you 10 times. And then he would, I think, deep breathe for like 30 seconds. And it would just shift everything for him. So let's do that. Let's look in the mirror and tell ourselves, I love you. Deep breath. I love you, Monica. I love you, Monica. I love you. I love you. I love you. Say it like you mean it, damn it. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Deep breath. Oh, do you feel the compassion for yourself come up? This is where the change happens. Not that, change is not the word that I want to say. This is where the lights come on. The truth is revealed. In the compassion. Okay, let's go to our thumb here. As we hold deep compassion for ourselves and witness and love ourselves, what we desire comes to fruition. The truth which is wealth in all of the ways. Love, joy, peace, excitement, fun, laughter, good food, good desserts, right? Fun experiences, epic vacations. Deep breath. Now the side of the finger here. What's coming up for you? Witness it, love it, lean into it, cry it out if you have to. If you feel like crying, cry. The energy wants to move. The energy wants to be witnessed so that it can move in a different way. Create an opening. Deep breath. Middle finger. Deep breath. Bottom side of the ring finger. Deep breath. Inside of the pinky. Deep breath. Bottom of the hand. Deep breath. Smile. Top of the head. Look in the mirror. Smile. Witness yourself for being so present in the moment, in your physical body, in this group, in your beautiful eyes. Smile. Deep breath. Okay, last. We're going to close with the gorilla pound. Remember doing that as a kid? This is where we get to be more childlike too, right? Make room for the fun. Be a kid again. Oh my gosh. We never really came to lose that essence, that truth. We're reclaiming it. And the more that we do it, the doors that we open, the lights that we turn on for our children, that they don't disconnect from that ever. They get to experience that all of their lives without all of the layers, right? Deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Ooh, feel the vibration. Feel it. Delicious. So, so good. Inviting in everyday, all-day miracles. Everyday, all-day wealth in all the ways. I choose to know my worth. I choose to be worthy beyond the beyond the beyond. I choose to be wealthy in all the ways. into your water. I am the highest tidal wave of abundance, of wealth, of love, of joy, of peace. Fully present. Let's drink our water with intention. So good. So, so good. All right, lovelies. I love you so much. Oh, homework. Let me post hang with me for a second. Let me post this beautiful music. Oh, I just feel the ancestors coming through. It's magnificent. I'm going to post it in the comments here. HMWK, that's my abbreviation for homework. Lock it in. Enjoy the beautiful song that I posted. I'm going to listen to it after we close out here. And thank you so much. This has been lovely, lovely, lovely beyond the beyond. Have the best night. I love y'all so much. And I see you, Sarah, in the No Bra Club. Whoop, whoop. I love it. I love you all. Have a wonderful night. Tomorrow, I'll be back on. So Sunday, 8:30 Eastern, we'll have session number 3. And then on day 4, I'm going to do a bonus day where I'm going to present to you my mission, how I support all of this work, that I'm able to show up for you in a way that's fully aligned and free. It's free to you. Of course, there's something operating in the background to support me in this way so that I can live the life of my dreams and take care of my children and pay for travel hockey. Right? Because that shit ain't cheap. Money doesn't buy happiness, but I tell you what, it sure is a valuable resource to open up lots of doors for you so you can make massive change in the world and pay for things like horseback riding, hockey, theater. My kids chose all of the expensive experiences in life because they knew that their mother is the embodiment of wealth. Right? Okay, I love you, love you, love you. I'll be back tomorrow. Bonus day on Monday will be at the same time where I'm going to present my mission to you. I'm going to present it in a little bit of a different way. So if you've seen this before, come anyway, because it's going to be a little different flavor for you this time. And I have a beautiful gem named Anadria who's going to join me. She's lovely. You will love her. All right. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, thank you, thank you.